everyone, this is Jess from LivingGirlLivingFoods.com. I've had a few readers ask me questions about knives, and it seems to be easier to just show everyone the knives I have. And this way you can also see the blade, and it will help form a stronger connection with them. So I personally use ceramic knives when I'm preparing foods for my clients. Since I am preparing living plant-based foods, the colors do change after a little while. Ceramic knives help slow down the oxidation process, which means, for example, an avocado, once you cut an avocado, it starts turning a bit brown. Ceramic knives, since it slows down the oxidation process, it slows down that kind of aging. It'll stay greener for a little bit longer is the goal. So the top knife that I'm almost always using is my chef knife. And this knife, you know, if I'm chopping peppers, I'm chopping a large amount of onions, I'm dicing, I'm cutting slices for mushroom steaks, anything of the sorts. That is the knife I prefer to use. Then after that knife, I think my most common knife to use is a paring knife. And this is roughly the typical size of a paring knife. Let's see, so it's longer than my pinky, just a little bit. And the paring knives, those are really great for slicing smaller things. So if you're slicing a garlic clove, a shallot, maybe just a single strawberry, anything really small. Maybe you're trying to make a pattern on something, or you're trying to score some lines to make a decoration. Anything like that, I would use the paring knife. And then after that, maybe I don't use this one as much for things, but I feel like it goes a bit underrated. So I want to mention it is the serrated knife. Now, it's a little difficult to see. I have to go really close. I think I got it now. There's little itty bitty teeth. So that's what a serrated knife is. It's very small contact points. And the little teeth make it so it's just making small splits into your food. And that's why when you cut if you're cutting a tomato, yes, the chef knife does a good job. Don't get me wrong, it does a good job. But what will look neater is using the serrated knife because of the texture of a tomato. Because it's not so even, it has that skin that's just a little bit hard. And then there's that next layer that's a little soft, and then on inside it's so gooey. It has all the water and seeds in the middle. So the serrated knife can handle different textures like that. So a serrated knife may also be used with cutting any pastries, cakes, cookies, chocolate, bread. I already said tomatoes. And some people like to use a serrated knife when they're removing the rind from their melons. So that can be another great use. I had one reader ask me about a knife for cutting coconuts. A lot of people like to use a cleaver to cut their coconut, and because I've broken all my fingers multiple times, I think that's also why I really like the ceramic knives. They're much lighter. The cleaver I don't personally have as much control over it. It's a little difficult for me, but I still recommend trying it if you happen to have a cleaver around the house. Cleavers aren't used very often. It's usually something for meats or something really tough like that, like maybe a coconut. I've seen people cut durians with cleavers before, but I just have this kind of nothing special knife that has a nice tip, and then this bottom bit here. Whoops, facing you. Hello, that might help. That's pretty much the part that's going to go into contact with your coconut. So I wouldn't use your favorite knife on the coconut because you might break it. So that's just a few small pointers on knives and what knives I use and for what. And I do have a lot more knives than this, but I'm also preparing food for many different people. And like I said, I personally prefer the ceramic knives. It makes my food look nicer. There's typically a cleaner cut. And since I do have issues with my fingers and my wrists, since this is such a light knife, I notice that I don't feel the need to take a break from chopping as much. I can keep working, which is really important for me. The one thing with ceramic knives are they're really easy to break. Really easy to break. And you also have to send them back to get them sharpened. You cannot sharpen them at home. Do not use a steel sharpener to try to sharpen your ceramic knives because they will be destroyed. And they're not cheap, so you want to take as best of care of them as you can. I like to wash my knives with a little bit of fresh lemon juice and some water, and just gently kind of scrub at it, never using the green side of the sponge, always the soft side. Scrape at it just a little bit, dry it right away, put a cover on it, and put it away. The knives are pretty sharp. The ceramic knives are very sharp. And of course, any knife is dangerous. You always want to choose a knife that feels most comfortable in your hand, in your grip. When you hold on to that knife, does it feel right in your fingers? Do your fingers wrap around it just right? Does your wrist feel okay? How do you feel when you're standing with your posture up straight over your cutting board, cutting away? How does that feel for you? I guess the best comparison I can think of right now is like in Harry Potter, when the students get to choose their wand. It kind of goes along with their personality, their characteristics. Something different resonates with each person. So if you can, try to see if you can hold the knife before you purchase it, and make sure that you actually like how it feels in your hand, because that's gonna be your buddy right there. It can be your friend or your enemy, and it should always be fun preparing food. You never want to be in pain or feel achy. So I hope that helps answer some questions, and please feel free to email me or message me if there's anything else you'd like to ask. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.